A woman is a keeper of mysteries. She must cradle her strength in silence, carry her battles without announcement, and guard her dreams like treasures not yet unearthed. Her soul is not for the world's inspection. Her vision, her faith, her pain, these are her crown, unseen yet unbroken. Her silent strength is not a performance, nor is it a parade for the eyes of others. It is not the noise of trumpets or the applause of crowds. It is quiet, but it shakes the earth beneath her feet. It is steady, though storms rage around her. It is invisible, yet it carves mountains into dust and waters into calm. The world may never fully understand it because the world expects strength to roar. Yet hers whispers, and the whisper echoes for generations. A woman carries her strength in ways that cannot be measured by muscle or might. Her strength is in her breath when she chooses patience over rage. Her strength is in her silence when her truth does not need an audience. Her strength is in her refusal to bow when life bends her low. She holds her dignity the way the sea holds its secrets, endless, deep, and unreachable. Her quiet endurance is not weakness, it is the purest kind of power. To watch a woman move through suffering and still rise each day with grace is to witness a miracle. She does not need to shout about her pain to make it real, nor must she make her wounds visible to be believed. She carries them with a courage that does not demand pity. Her silent strength is her ability to bleed unseen and still bloom in color. It is not a mask, it is mastery. The mastery of knowing that not all battles need to be revealed, not all victories need to be spoken, and not all scars must be shown. This strength is sacred because it is chosen. It is not forced upon her by applause or approval. It comes from within, a river that runs deeper than eyes can follow. She knows when to speak and when silence is the sharper sword. She knows when to bend and when to remain unshaken, even if the winds scream at her. Silent strength is not about pretending, it is about knowing. Knowing who she is, what she carries, and where she is destined to go, even when no one else sees the path. There is a kind of stillness inside a woman who has learned to keep her power close. She does not beg to be understood. She does not beg to be seen. She has learned that the most dangerous thing a woman can give away is the entirety of herself. Her silent strength guards her spirit. It builds a wall against those who would take advantage of her softness. It shields her from those who mistake kindness for weakness. She has lived enough to know that words can be twisted, but silence cannot. Silence is hers alone, her sanctuary. Her strength is not defined by how much she can carry in plain sight, but by how much she can carry without losing herself. She knows the art of holding burdens in private while walking with light in her eyes. This is not deception, it is protection. It is wisdom dressed in quiet power. Her silent strength is also in her ability to wait for the right moment, the right opening, the right season. She knows the power of timing. She knows the weight of patience. When she withholds her strength from view, it is not because she lacks it, it is because she understands that not everyone deserves to witness it. Some truths are too precious to be laid bare for careless eyes. And so she hides it, not out of shame, but out of reverence. She hides her strength the way a queen hides her crown until the hour of coronation. She hides it the way the sun hides behind the clouds, still burning, still fierce, though unseen. She hides it because strength that is guarded becomes strength that endures. Strength that is displayed for all is sometimes stolen, misused, or misunderstood. Her silent strength is her inheritance, her legacy, her birthright. It is written in the way she holds herself, even when she is weary. It is carved into her face, even when tears have traced their paths across her skin. It is the song in her chest, even when her lips never sing it aloud. She is not weak because she does not announce her power. She is stronger than those who must shout it to be believed. Her strength is not in volume, it is in truth. The world may never fully grasp this kind of quiet power, but she does not need the world to grasp it. She only needs to live it, embody it, and pass it forward. For every woman who learns the art of silent strength teaches the next that she, too, can be unshaken. She shows her daughters, her sisters, her friends, that silence can be sharper than steel, and patience can be louder than thunder. Silent strength is not absence, it is presence in its highest form. It is not a void, it is fullness. A woman who walks with silent strength does not need validation. She has already been validated by the fire she has survived and the storm she has calmed within herself. She does not need to perform strength. She is strength, whether or not the world ever notices. Her inner battles are the quiet wars no one sees, yet they shape her more than the victories the world celebrates. A woman does not always fight with fists or with raised voices. Her greatest struggles take place in silence, within the chambers of her mind, within the tender walls of her spirit. She wakes each morning carrying battles invisible to others, battles between doubt and faith, fear and courage, despair and hope. These wars do not leave bruises on her skin, but they mark her soul, etching stories that only she can read. The strength of a woman is not just in how she smiles before the world, but in how she wrestles with shadows when the world is asleep. She knows what it means to walk into a room carrying storms inside her chest while offering sunshine to those around her. This is the art of her endurance. She fights to keep her heart open in a world that tells her to close it. She fights to believe in her worth when voices whisper otherwise. She fights to hold her dreams alive when doubt claws at them, trying to tear them from her grasp. Her inner battles are not weaknesses. They are teachers. They teach her the weight of resilience. They show her the difference between surrender and acceptance. They remind her that not every war must be won in order to be transformed. Sometimes the struggle itself becomes the sacred ground where she learns her truest strength. Each time she feels as if she has reached the edge of her capacity, she discovers there is more inside her than she ever knew. A woman carries battles against the world's expectations too. She is told to be gentle yet strong, soft yet unbreakable, silent yet outspoken, perfect yet humble. Every contradiction carves a wound, and she must navigate through these impossible demands. She fights within herself to honor her own truth in the midst of a world that insists on defining her. That war is not visible to anyone else, but it is constant, and yet she persists. Her inner battles are often the wars against her own reflection. How many days has she looked in the mirror and heard the echo of self-doubt louder than the praise of her accomplishments? How many nights has she questioned whether she is enough? A woman's heart can be a battlefield of voices, some her own, many borrowed from the world around her. Still, she learns the discipline of quieting the noise, of choosing the voice that calls her higher instead of the one that drags her lower. She does not always emerge from her inner battles victorious. There are days she is weary, days when her strength feels thin, days when tears fall heavier than laughter. But even in defeat, she rises, because her battles are not meant to break her, they are meant to refine her. Fire does not destroy gold, it reveals it. So too, her battles strip away illusions, leaving only the brilliance of her truth. There is nobility in the wars a woman fights in silence. No audience applauds when she resists the urge to give up. No crowd cheers when she chooses faith over fear in the solitude of her soul. No medals are given for the countless nights she holds herself together when everything inside her threatens to fall apart. And yet, these are the battles that matter most. These are the wars that shape her into the woman who can stand before the world with dignity, even if the world never knows what it cost her. The beauty of her inner battles is that they give her compassion. Because she has walked through valleys unseen, she knows how to reach for the hands of others lost in their own darkness. Her wars do not make her cold, they make her tender. She does not mock the broken, for she knows the language of breaking. She does not scorn the weary, for she has walked with heavy steps herself. A woman's inner battles are sacred because they keep her human. They remind her that strength is not the absence of struggle. It is the will to keep moving despite it. They remind her that courage is not the absence of fear. It is the choice to act while fear still lingers. They remind her that beauty is not perfection. It is authenticity carved from the fires of pain and the rivers of persistence. Yes, her inner battles may be unseen, but they are never wasted. Each one molds her into a deeper, wiser, more unshakable woman. And though she does not parade them before the world, she carries the lessons within her walk, her voice, her very being. She is proof that the most powerful victories are the ones no one else can see. Her dreams untamed are the wild rivers running through her spirit, refusing to be dammed by fear or tethered by expectation. A woman's dreams are not always spoken aloud, yet they beat in her chest louder than any drum. They are visions she sees in the stillness of her soul, whispers that visit her when the world is quiet, promises that rise even when life tries to bury them. These dreams do not ask permission to exist. They do not bow to the smallness others might try to place upon her. They live in her like fire, restless and alive, waiting for the moment to blaze. A woman's dreams are often the first thing the world tells her to let go. Be practical, they say. Be small, they suggest. Be less, they demand. Yet her untamed dreams are not meant to shrink. They are not polite visions content with living in corners. They stretch her, push her, challenge her to rise higher than the ceilings built around her. They remind her that she was never born to live within cages of doubt or walls of expectation. She was born to build, to create, to expand, to transform. Her dreams are untamed because they are holy. They are not made to please everyone. They are not crafted to fit into the mold society sets for her. They are carved by the Creator, placed deep in her being, designed to call her toward her destiny. And because they are divine, they are dangerous to those who fear a woman fully alive. The world is unsettled by a woman whose dreams cannot be tamed, because she becomes proof that freedom is possible, that boundaries can be broken, that life can be lived on her own terms. There is a quiet ferocity in the way she guards her dreams. She knows not every ear is worthy of hearing them. Not every voice can be trusted to nurture them. Some people would laugh at them, others would try to shrink them, still others would attempt to steal them. So she protects them, waters them in silence, and allows them to grow roots before showing them to the light. Her dreams are seeds, and she is the soil. Only when they are strong enough to survive the winds does she let them bloom before the world. The untamed nature of her dreams also means they are not always convenient. They demand sacrifice. They wake her in the night with visions too bright to ignore. They push her toward roads less traveled, where footsteps are few and faith must be her guide. They call her away from comfort, insisting she grow even when growing hurts. They do not allow her to settle because settling is death to the soul. Instead, they insist she live fully, even if it means walking alone for a time. Her dreams untamed carry her through seasons of struggle. When life is heavy, they whisper of better days ahead. When doubt tries to silence her, they remind her of her strength. When fear tries to chain her, they remind her of her wings. Dreams are not just visions of the future. They are fuel for the present. They keep her walking when the road is dark. They keep her fighting when the battle feels endless. They keep her believing when everything around her says it is impossible. There is beauty in the way her untamed dreams expand not only her life, but the lives of others. When she dares to dream, she gives permission to those around her to dream as well. Her courage sparks courage. Her vision ignites vision. Her refusal to tame her dreams becomes a revolution, reminding others that they too can rise, they too can build, they too can live beyond the boundaries placed upon them. Her untamed dreams are her inheritance and her gift. She will pass them down to her daughters, not always in words, but in example. She will leave them as a legacy for those who come after her, proof that a woman's dreams are not fragile, they are fire. Proof that her imagination is not a luxury, it is a lifeline. Proof that she can be both gentle and fierce, both grounded and uncontainable, both here and destined for more. And though the world may try to silence her, tame her, or convince her to abandon what burns inside her, she knows the truth. Dreams that come from the soul cannot be killed. They may sleep, they may wait, but they will not die. They are eternal. They are sacred. They are the voice of destiny speaking through her. She is not afraid to let her dreams run wild. She is not afraid to chase them across deserts or climb with them across mountains. She is not afraid to look different, to sound different, to live different if it means living true. For her dreams untamed are not a burden. They are her wings. And a woman who walks with untamed dreams is a woman who will never be caged. Her sacred pain is the part of her story no one fully sees, yet it lives in every breath she takes. It is not pain that breaks her, it is pain that builds her, shaping her into something unshakable. A woman's pain is sacred because it is both wound and wisdom, scar and scripture. It is the language of survival etched into her spirit, written in tears that fell when no one was watching, carved into nights where silence became her only companion. She has suffered, yes, but she has also transformed, and that transformation is holy. The world does not always honor her pain. Often it dismisses it, calls it weakness, tells her to hide it. Yet she knows that her pain, though quiet, is power. She knows that what she has endured has made her see the world differently, made her understand compassion more deeply, made her love with a tenderness sharper than any blade. Her sacred pain is her testimony, proof that she has walked through fire and emerged not as ash, but as flame. She carries her pain not as a burden, but as a crown. It is heavy, yes, but it is hers. Every tear she has cried is a jewel, every heartbreak a stone, every loss a thread in the fabric of her resilience. She does not parade her pain, yet it shows in the way she holds herself, with dignity, with grace, with an unspoken strength that others cannot name but feel. Her sacred pain is not meant for everyone to see. It is private, intimate, hers alone to hold, and hers alone to interpret. A woman's sacred pain teaches her patience. It teaches her the long art of waiting for the dawn while enduring the night. It teaches her how to keep her heart open even after it has been broken, how to keep her spirit tender even after it has been scarred. Pain does not close her, it deepens her. She is more because of what she has endured, not less. There are moments when her pain feels too much to bear, yet she bears it. There are moments when her voice trembles, yet she speaks. There are moments when her hands shake, yet she builds. Pain has not stopped her, it has only refined her. Like the diamond born of pressure, like the pearl formed by irritation, she is proof that beauty often grows out of suffering. Her sacred pain is the soil where her greatness takes root. The holiness of her pain is in its silence. She does not always tell the world what she has endured, yet it shapes every step she takes. People may see her strength and call it natural, never knowing that it was birthed in agony. They may admire her composure without realizing it was learned through countless trials. They may applaud her wisdom, not knowing it came through wounds she had to stitch alone. Her sacred pain is not for display, it is for becoming. And yet her sacred pain is not only about her, it gives her the ability to see others differently. Because she has known heartbreak, she holds others with compassion. Because she has known loss, she cherishes presence. Because she has known suffering, she stands as shelter for the suffering of others. Her sacred pain becomes her ministry, not because she preaches it, but because she embodies it. She becomes a living example that one can endure, one can survive, one can rise. Her sacred pain does not define her, but it refines her. It strips away the false, leaving only what is true. It teaches her that she is more than what was done to her, more than what she has lost, more than what she has suffered. She is not her pain. She is what came after it. She is the woman who walked through it and still chose to love, still chose to create, still chose to believe. That choice is sacred. That choice is her victory. She does not seek pity for her pain. Pity would diminish it, cheapen it. Instead, she honors it, knowing that it is a companion that has guided her toward her highest self. Her sacred pain is a reminder of her resilience, a teacher of her patience, a guardian of her depth. It is the fire that purified her, the river that cleansed her, the storm that made her steady. Yes, her sacred pain is heavy, but it is also holy. And because it is holy, she does not need to explain it. She does not need to justify it. She does not need to let the world in on the secret of it. She simply carries it with her, woven into her being, as proof of who she is and what she has survived. Her unshakable faith is not loud, nor is it fragile. It is not the faith that wavers with every storm, nor the faith that depends on the applause of others. It is the faith that sits deep in her bones, the faith that holds her steady when the ground beneath her trembles. A woman's faith is not always about what she can see with her eyes. It is about what she knows with her spirit. Even when the world tells her no, her faith whispers yes. Even when the night is long, her faith assures her that morning will come. Faith, for her, is not a borrowed garment. It is not something she wears when it suits her and discards when it does not. Her faith has been tested, tried, and pressed until it became a part of her. It is written in the struggles she has endured, in the storms she has weathered, in the deserts she has crossed. It is unshakable because it has been shaken, and yet it stands. It has been questioned, and yet it answers. It has been pushed, and yet it refuses to fall. A woman with unshakable faith does not fear uncertainty, for she knows the one who guides her steps. She does not collapse under the weight of trials because she trusts the meaning in her suffering. She believes that everything carries purpose, even the pain, even the waiting, even the silence. Her faith does not require constant proof. It requires only her surrender, and in that surrender, she finds her strength. Her faith is unshakable because it is rooted not in circumstance, but in conviction. Circumstances change, people leave, money fails, health falters, promises break, but her conviction does not. She knows that what is meant for her cannot be stolen, and what is not meant for her cannot be forced. This knowing steadies her, calms her, carries her. Others may call it foolishness, but she knows it as freedom. There are days when the winds of doubt blow against her. There are nights when fear whispers its cruel stories, but her faith is not afraid of doubt, for it has faced it before. She does not run from questions. She has carried them into her prayers, wrestled with them, and come out stronger. Her unshakable faith is not blind. It is not naive. It is faith that has been tested in the furnace and proven true. Her faith gives her courage to walk into rooms where she is not welcomed and still hold her head high. It gives her the will to try again after failure, to love again after heartbreak, to trust again after betrayal. Her unshakable faith is her compass when the path is unclear, her anchor when the waters rise, her shield when the arrows come. She does not rely on the shifting sands of circumstance. She builds upon the rock of belief. Her faith is not something she preaches with her mouth. It is something she lives with her life. It shows in her patience when others would rush. It shows in her calm when others would panic. It shows in her gratitude even when she has little. People see her peace and wonder how she maintains it. They see her resilience and wonder where it comes from. It comes from her faith, the quiet force that holds her together when everything else falls apart. Her unshakable faith is also her inheritance. It connects her to the women who came before her, women who prayed when they had nothing, who sang in chains, who believed in tomorrow when tomorrow seemed impossible. She carries that legacy in her chest. Her faith is not just for her. It is for her daughters, her sisters, her community. It is the light she keeps burning so that others may find their way through the dark. Faith does not mean her life is free of pain. She cries, she doubts, she falls, but she rises, always, because her faith will not allow her to stay down. It whispers to her in her weakest moments, "Rise again, keep going, the story is not over." Her faith is not in what she can control, but in what is greater than her, stronger than her, beyond her. That is why it is unshakable. And so she moves through the world with quiet assurance. She may not know how, she may not know when, but she knows. That knowing is her anchor, that trust is her power. Her faith may be unseen, but it is her foundation. And no matter what life brings, storms, losses, doubts, or fears, it cannot be taken from her. Her vision of self is not borrowed from the mirror of the world. It is not built from the fragments of other people's opinions or the shadows of their expectations. It is a vision born from within, a knowing that glows even when life tries to dim it. A woman's true power rests in how she sees herself, and when her vision is clear, no one can convince her to shrink. She does not wait for permission to believe in her own brilliance. She looks inward and she finds it. The world will try to hand her images of herself. Too soft, too loud, too much, not enough. But she does not allow those images to define her. Her vision of self is not measured against the impossible standards of others. She does not see herself only through beauty or status, but through essence. She knows she is more than flesh, more than title, more than name. She is spirit wrapped in skin, soul wrapped in story, destiny wrapped in time. Her vision of self is sacred because it shapes everything she touches. When she sees herself as strong, she moves through the world with courage. When she sees herself as worthy, she refuses to settle for less than she deserves. When she sees herself as capable, she creates, she builds, she thrives. A woman who holds a clear vision of herself becomes unstoppable, not because the world clears the path for her, but because she refuses to be blinded by lies along the way. She has not always seen herself clearly. There were seasons when her vision was blurred by doubt, by hurt, by betrayal. She may have once looked into the mirror and struggled to love the reflection staring back. But her vision of self grew sharper through trial, through healing, through the slow unlearning of the world's cruel lessons. She discovered that the truest mirror is not made of glass, it is made of truth. And when she looked into that mirror, she saw not what she lacked, but what she carried. Her vision of self is not arrogant. It does not boast, does not belittle. It is quiet, dignified, firm. She does not need to shout who she is because she walks in it. She does not need constant validation because she validates herself. She does not need to compare her reflection to anyone else's because her vision is not competition, it is clarity. She knows who she is and she honors it. With a strong vision of self, she does not chase approval. Approval comes and goes like seasons, but her identity is steady like the earth. She does not mold herself to fit into the small spaces others offer. She expands, she rises, she fills the room with her presence, even if her presence is quiet. She is not afraid to be seen, and she is not afraid to be unseen. Her vision of self is not dependent on audience. It is sustained by her own knowing. This vision is her compass. It guides her choices, her boundaries, her dreams. When she sees herself as valuable, she does not waste her life on what depletes her. When she sees herself as divine, she does not allow herself to be disrespected. When she sees herself as whole, she does not wait for another to complete her. She does not walk blind. She walks guided. And the guidance comes from the truth of how she has chosen to see herself. Her vision of self is also her gift to the world. When she walks with dignity, others learn to walk taller. When she loves herself, she teaches others how to love themselves. When she refuses to shrink, she gives permission for others to expand. Her vision becomes a mirror for those who have lost their own reflection, reminding them that they too are more than enough. And when the world tries again to distort her image, when it tells her to be less, when it whispers that she cannot, her vision does not waver. She has seen too much, endured too much, grown too much to let the world rewrite her. She is author of her own image. She is guardian of her own worth. She is seer of her own future. Her vision of self is her freedom. With it, she cannot be caged. With it, she cannot be silenced. With it, she cannot be erased. She knows who she is, and because she knows, she becomes. And because she becomes, she leaves behind a trail for others to follow, a path paved not with imitation, but with truth. Her vision of self is her power, and with it, she does not just survive, she shines. She has walked with her silent strength, fought her inner battles, carried her untamed dreams, endured her sacred pain, stood upon her unshakable faith, and held fast to her vision of self. And through it all, she remains unbroken. Her life is not defined by what the world tried to take from her, but by what she chose to guard within herself. She is proof that a woman's power does not need noise to be felt, nor permission to be real. She is her own witness, her own sanctuary, her own revolution. And when she rises, she does not rise alone. She carries with her the promise that every woman can be whole, fearless, and free.